Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at the Birch Mattress by Helix. Now this is a hybrid mattress made with springs and latex. It's all natural, has a really great feel, yet a very simple construction. So let's take a closer look. Now when the Birch mattress arrived at my doorstep and we were able to unbox it, what I first noticed is how quickly it popped open and sprang to life. So when I cut off that plastic, you'll notice that it sort of got away from me and I had to edge it back onto the bed. The other thing I noticed is if you look at the perimeter, the pattern sort of mimics a birch tree. And then in keeping with that theme, the cover is an unbleached cotton cover. Now the organic cotton cover doesn't have any dye, which gives it that cream color. It's a natural color of cotton. Underneath that, you get wool as your fire retardant. And typically you'll get a fiberglass fire sock. That's not the case with this mattress. And wool is a naturally breathable material. It's sort of like nature's thermometer. You don't get too hot, you don't get too cold with that. They also add another layer of wool batting beneath that fire barrier for extra padding and comfort. Now underneath that, you get a layer of Talalay latex. What I really like about latex is one, it's a sustainable material. So it has a low impact on the environment. Second, it's very resilient. So you're going to get a much longer lifespan out of latex than you would with foam. Finally, it's also breathable because when they pour the latex, it leaves tiny holes from the mold and that allows for more airflow. Now underneath this layer of latex, you get your coil system. These are all individually wrapped coils and the coils have a lot of give to them. So you get a lot of sink to this mattress even though there's not a whole bunch of other material above the coil system. Finally, underneath the coil system, you get another layer of wool that completes that entire fire retardant throughout the mattress. All in all, it's just a very clean construction. In fact, when we cut this open, I was really surprised at how well it's all put together. Now, the first thing I noticed when I opened this and laid on it was how bouncy it was. It was kind of a relief to get a nice bouncy mattress. It kind of gives you that old school bouncy feel with some of the next gen technology. So what I mean is, yes, you're gonna feel some motion transfer with your partner, but it's not like the old days where everything was on a grid and you feel like you're on a wave. You may plop down on the mattress, your partner may notice a little bit of a shake, but probably not enough to wake them from a deep sleep. This mattress is also temperature neutral. It's not gonna sleep hot, it's not gonna sleep cold. It's gonna be kind of that Goldilocks just right feel. That's the wool working, that's the latex working, that's the breathability of the springs, all working together to give you just that neutral feel, that old school mattress feel. The other thing I like about this mattress is that it's great for just about any sleeping position, backside, stomach. If you are a dedicated side sleeper, they do have the option to upgrade to a pillow top. Basically, you're getting an extra layer of latex for just some extra sinkage. And the other thing to keep in mind is whether you're a heavy-set person or you're skinny and you're really light, I think you're still gonna get a very consistent feel because the springs sink in just enough, whether you're light or heavy, that you're gonna get some good cradling. And even if you are a heavier person, I know a concern is that you can wear through mattresses a lot. That's typically a concern with foam. And again, latex is much more resilient. So even if you are on the heavier side, it's gonna be a while before you can really wear down this type of quality latex. So overall, I think it's just a really well construction, very versatile feel. The Birch mattress is made here in the United States. What I really like about that is that it's not made overseas. Some of the mattresses made overseas can spend months on a shipping container. And so when they get to your doorstep, they have a very slow recovery and they're a little bit stale. It takes a while for them to come to life. That's really not the case with the Birch. There's really not much time from when it's in the box till it's opened up and on your bed. And that we really noticed that when we unboxed it, how quickly it sprang to life. Now this mattress comes with a 100-night trial. That used to be pretty par for the course, but what we're seeing now is your typical 1-year trial where you get to try it out in all 4 seasons. Now, 100 nights is really not that bad with this type of mattress because latex is not temperature sensitive like foam. So you're not gonna notice much variation during the different seasons from fall, winter, spring. It's gonna have a pretty consistent feel no matter what the temperature, what the season. So 100 night trials in this regard is pretty adequate. What I do like about it is you do get a 25-year warranty. That's a pretty long warranty. Typical warranty is about 10 to 15 years. Keep in mind this is a manufacturer's warranty, so they're not going to warranty against spills or any other incidental damage. So I always recommend keeping a good mattress protector on it to protect against spills, any dust mites. Keep it in pristine, fresh condition. Now, if you're coming from other mattresses, maybe other mattresses made with foam, you'll know what I'm talking about with that stuck in the mud feeling. Maybe a mattress that just sleeps a bit too hot, it's retaining too much heat at night, which forces you to change positions. I really would urge you to give the Birch a try, because this is going to give you that old school bounce feel. It's just a fun mattress. It's temperature neutral, so it's going to be much more breathable than any foam mattress out there. And it's just a real clean construction. I mean, I've cut open hundreds of mattresses, and I couldn't tell you how many looked like they were just kind of jumbled together, thrown together, too much glue. When we cut this open, I was just relieved to see a nice, clean construction. It's very simple. What you see is what you get. And so head on over to sleepsherpa.com. You're going to get our full review. You're going to get the latest pricing and the latest discounts.